New on AM Extra, this week is Women in Construction Week. According to the National Association of Women in Construction, just under 10% of the people working in construction are women. However, one company says they are challenging the traditionally male-dominated industry, working to bring an increasing number of women into the field.
Yeah, so joining us here on the couch this morning to talk about this with a little further detail, we have Elena Robertson. She is the Portland Division President for home building company Taylor Morrison. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate the time. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about your journey into the construction industry, and then let's talk about the impact that moves like this have on it as a whole. So why did you get into this field?
You know, there isn't really a great reason for why I ended up in construction. It was actually coming right out of high school. I was still actually in college and had a family friend who I used to babysit for. He was actually the president of the company, one of the private home builders that were in the Pacific Northwest area, and asked me if I wanted to intern for the company. So I actually started as an intern back in 2006, and this May it'll be 18 years that I've been with the company.
Wow.
So I came for just a great opportunity to make a whopping $12 an hour back then, which was pretty impressive at that time, and stayed for the people, stayed for the industry, stayed for the impact that we make on the community and the things that we get to do to support other people and building out their life and their dreams.
Yeah, you know, I think we talk a lot about the importance of skilled labor, of trade jobs, how vital that is to the economy. But it's hard when you don't see yourself in an industry, you know, to want to get involved. So how do we turn that tide? How do we bring more women into this field?
I think it's the same with kind of any opportunities that we're seeking for any other groups that are, you know, maybe underserved or not necessarily represented well. It's just the continuous outreach. It's taking people within the industry and from without to give exposure. We have a lot of work that we're doing with high school, middle school, even elementary school students and programs with the various foundations we have around the region, looking to bring education for construction into the classrooms, also letting people know that, you know, college isn't the only answer for after high school, that there are parts of our industry that you don't have to swing a hammer for. You can actually work in finance, you can work in marketing, you can work in sales, but everything supports the industry. Every contractor we have is a business owner as well. Yeah. So there's a wide variety of opportunities, but our skilled labor is really critical. I mean, the homes are still built by people, by humans. We haven't quite gotten to automation, and even when we do, there is a level of expertise that even our computers, I think, will miss just from the years of experience. So especially with women, you know, I think it's really critically important for strong women to encourage strong women. It's continuing to bring them in, give them exposure and encouragement.
Well, with that said, what are those challenges? Is it as, you know, simple may be the wrong word, but to your point, Emily, just not seeing yourself in that industry? Is that the biggest hurdle that women are facing in getting into the construction business, or is there another factor there?
I think it's a little bit of that. I think it's just a little bit of not a lot of clarity into what the options and opportunities are. Again, when we hear skilled labor, I think it's really easy for people to assume that they're only talking about framing or maybe running heavy equipment, and those things are critical and necessary and really one of the, I think just as a society, we've really focused in on the post-secondary education and missing the other opportunities to keep our economies moving forward and to keep everybody well employed and with a good life. And I think there's a really large misconception about the opportunity, the income opportunities that exist in construction, home building, commercial, apartments, civil construction work as well. There's a lot of opportunity where you can build something with your hands. You get to see every day what you've created, and to some degree you get to go home and just be proud of that work. You don't have to bring that work, that stress, that strain home. Right. And there's just a little bit of magic to what you get to create every day in our industry.
And supportive paying jobs for folks this day and age. Yeah. So it's interesting, you're working with high schools and doing some of that younger outreach for internships or getting younger women interested. Are there ways for older workers to also break into the industry? Where should someone go if they kind of want to learn more?
Yeah, there's a couple of different facets. So of course we know about our labor unions. So we've got carpentry, electrical, line workers. We have all these unions that have wonderful apprenticeship programs and education that's provided through all the different, you know, community colleges and universities around. For older workers as well, I mean, I think it's, to some degree, it's just looking at the cars and the vans that are driving by on the freeway. Everybody is in a hiring need. We're one of the larger employed industries right now. We have a huge shortage of housing in our state, as the governor is having to address with the housing bill that was on the floor this week. Yeah. So there's a ton of opportunity. And again, it's not just related to home building. When we look across everything we need from an infrastructure perspective, we need as many people as possible. There is no shortage of opportunities.
Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah, Elena, really appreciate your time. Great to talk about it with you.
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you so much.
And again, you can find more information on applying to Taylor Morrison at coin.com as well.
All right, AM Extra will be back with much more right after this. Don't go anywhere.